calling ambulo luku. With whatever we do, Jion safu no da. With whatever we do, haleyi demunyu skula. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Nyepangi ragala gena. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Ibuloke nongoto ni beti sola. Ibuloke dato ni betoto.
Bigi Congo.
Lamin.
Na?
Lamin te jibe norin te nyame Lamin.
Kabona wulo kono.
Wulo kono nyita mo Lamin.
Pabile.
Muna ngata afamole.
Haina.
Ngata. Ngoto le. Fabrama.
Mingi. Baba nyola.
Ngoto le Fabrama.
Namu jumala kan kuma diten.
Fabrama.
Jumala mu.
Ndele bare muso.
Nunda mana.
Kata.
Jamani mbere.
Lindo ko.
Jamani.
Bari ngoto man kontande.
Bari jamani fana na mundu wa kontan.
Ngoto minaka ngala min de fon filitala. Lamin jibe nori nyala.
Lamin ila siran sama ne benki. Yala so tol sayni no ko mo lokko momo.
Ngoto.
Nam.
Itedinte yalo ne Lamin hakilo diata bake karamungoto. Anu santeng ministry ko di ngole si suko na amanke ko be holiday
si bitun
bagona de
ala ni ko kede namo balo
ala ni na ko na karta bulo be damen ala ni je
ngoto
nam
ngoto mon kontan feren
jamani mu ne keda
ifika Lamin ki wulo ko no nyintay mon ko do fete malo Lamin nyande sila la be la moy kala karango
jamani karamol be soron ne ko fasi ka wulo ko no ko
karambo wol ma soron ni ko karambo wol soron da amanke ko holiday lem ngoto dindi wonyanta sila la ala karango la moy yamen kaben fue man kontaan anda mande
alla nyin kombo courant adanda la kombo len do la jankara mol soron do kamen courant ma ra do la kombo e ko ndol fana na kara mol soron je kara mol soron Lamin ada lo nyino la man tara fe na sokon ala mu nekela
am Lamin ite fo de malon ko lesinol be ke kar radio
e ko yana di mo Lamin ya mu na fonye
bi kabin mina kan tambita nteri maning Fatu ndambite la sukol ala dinngol bebe siri be la moyka
Fatou dan so am fanan kamira jele ni subala la ngaje dinngol be jet talanta nen kili warol e be seri jelet
sa Lamin farante ku kili ko keno la ba Lamin bita ka wulo ko no nyinta mo Lamin
amandara fenela
ite dine ko ni man si yakaru lesino la moy radio to balon na
mo ne ka ke afonde ba nyaara ni alon
telentel jikot
afonde ba mo de be ke
ite balon tel be jikritel ni man karambe ku kele yaaje nata karana mbasa malaya ay tarije
par ñarande kombo courant ho findira kombo ide nara yede ni sonka bay ko Lamin manya tala wulo ko aru karam wolbe so da fa ñembe
ko to wole nati bawo ngalle ni Lamin kuntala kombo courant o ka fa me kombo courant asototal wala kinay ko e sisu ko no bari ni ko e sisu ko no be karangol di ke la radio lin telel to hani tele masoto to nyaay man tele soto la bungo bar radio be bulan ko to batiri sanga ay si ay alama
sa do kala nyaadi
ko ta o bulaji
ado kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abe wala moy la be mona falaje
ibe la karandirol kala jele
ti talle be radio ko men ka karandirol
ile subject ro baby jele baby jele
wala nanga coco moy fa dan so wolya ngomme tambi kana ngadi ni wolje be ikadum bungo de ko kada ma
asototal de
Lamin mala be karawala de
bari laftalal ideal on ko inde every year second wala fourth
muna ni ko di ko nde ko folle sinila ba ndele sinilo na ba
mbasa mba foke en koto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat yu fana bulata ko ko me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ntel be jiko be nyineka ya bulay kara wulo kana ta kilar ya bambalo yo be bulaje koto dinni ngoy si ayala le sino la moy radio
wora ka munda kara mo man soro Lamin nyanta kara si so na regular
sila le ayala le sino
dal ko korno ko smalo
kilar ya
be ngala ko momo sa mi do ni ko no kera
mengi bruzo
ndelo ko do la da barro sa no radio ba no bari woro radio ni abe jele ba do ngamra do man dembe buljan dala nyara nyar wora ko fendi mo tayra ba do sa
bara te ku folo ajibe nori nya labi tamete
mengi mun na re
teku
bari ko do famo ke
imagine nani nyambol si zol le keje kisigi man si zol no le kabun ka nyoma bari nyambu kilo ni manya na kafindi ni nambe ko zol la ga
ngalle limbeta de be nyambo do dilanna
nyara ni ko rim fennat nyara nata
bari famo ke da
ngata bungono tammi bungono nyara ngando ko fele ko ke baru nganda ni pelo la ndija
iyo awa
la bungono bismillah bisu diara
pendulala ye fongo tanka sina dolu tanka koro korota
Greeting everybody. Welcome to another history lesson. My name is Mr. Mumuduba. And in this lesson, we shall look at the Mandinkas. We will also, among other things, try to trace the origin of the Mandinkas, discuss the reasons for their migration, explore the impact of their migration on the Gambia, analyze the social, political, and economic organization, and finally, examine the features of the Mandinka political organization. So, the first thing that we will do is to look at the origin of the Mandinka. The origin of the Mandinka. The Mandinka are Mandi-speaking people from Manding in the ancient empire of Mali, which was founded by Sunjata Keita. It is an established fact that the Mandinkas originally came from Manding. Manding is found in Mali Empire, in the ancient Mali Empire. That is the origin of the Mandinkas. Now, we will proceed and look at the reason for their migration. Why did the Mandinka migrate to the Gambia? There were numerous reasons why the Mandinkas migrated to the Gambia. This reason we look at one after the other. The first reason we will talk about is the fact that the Mandinkas were looking for better farmlands. One of the reasons for the migration of the Mandinka is that they were looking for better farmlands. When we say better farmland here, we are referring to having fertile lands, favorable climatic conditions, and also conducive environment for agricultural purposes. So the Gambia was very fertile. It had adequate rainfall with adequate sunlight, and in addition to that, the area was sparsely populated. There were enough land where new settlers can settle and do their agricultural activities. So one of the reasons why they came is they were searching for better farmland. Another reason for the Mandinka migration into the Gambia is in search of favorable commercial opportunities. Some of the Mandinka traders wanted to move out of Mali to go and settle in other areas where there were less competition in trade. And in the Gambia, there existed huge commercial opportunities. So therefore, they decided to come and take advantage of the existing commercial opportunities and settle in the Gambia. Another important reason for the Mandinka migration into the Gambia was that they were trying to escape from the political instability and the social unrest. Political instability and social unrest in Mali. As you may know, during the time of Sumanguru Conte was a Susu king. He was very, very ruthless towards the Mandinkas. In fact, there were a lot of maltreatment towards the Mandinkas. Because of that, most of them decided to escape from Mali, from the arbitrary rule of Sumanguru Conte, to come and seek for sanctuary in the Gambia. So that is how some of them eventually come to the Gambia. And another important reason for the Mandinka migration into the Gambia was a political reason, that is conquest. There were those Mandinkas, particularly those from the ruling family, you know, the prince and the war general, who had the opportunity to build empires and rule their own people. But they couldn't rule on the Mali Empire. Because of that, they began to embark on wars of conquest, conquering all the state that lies ahead of them, until eventually they came to the Gambia. And when they arrived in the Gambia, they established what became known as the Kabu Empire. Here we can talk about the exploit of people like Tremang Trawale, you know, and also Amari Sonko. When they came, they conquered the people in the Senegambia area. They established both the Sonko dynasty in Nyomi. They established the Kabu Empire with its capital at Kansala. So these are some of the most important reasons behind the Mandinka migration into the Gambia. Having talked about the Mandinka migration, it is important now we try to look at the effects of the Mandinka migration. What are some of the possible effects of the Mandinka migration, if I may ask? There were a lot of effects of the Mandinka migration. One of this effect is that it led to the massive exodus of Mandinkos into the Gambia. That is over 75,000 people, according to oral tradition, left Mali. And this number included different artisan groups, war generals, also some prince and farmers to come and settle in the Gambia. They were involved in wars of conquest until they arrived and settled in the Gambia. Secondly, also it led to the displacement and forced migration of some of the people that already settled in the Gambia. For example, you have the Jola, you have the Bainunka and the Papeli. So when they came, they pushed those people, they forced those people to move to other part of the further south of the Gambia, and they settled in their places. Another important effect of the Mandinka migration is it led to the establishment of Kabu Empire. Kabu Empire. Like we said during our introduction, we said that when they came, they established the Kabu Empire. So one of the effects of the Mandinka migration is that it led to the creation of the establishment of the Kabu Empire, which had 14 states within the Kabu Empire. And all this Kabu Empire remained vassal state under the Mali Empire until it collapsed. Another important effect of the Mandinka migration is that it led to the establishment of Nyancho and Koring state across the Gambia. For example, you have Jimara, you have Kantora, you have Tumanna, you have Sandu, you have Nyomi, Badibu, Kiang, and Jara. 5, it led to the establishment of Dankuto. It led to the establishment of Dankuto. Dankuto is a Mandinka word which means joking relationship between the people and among the states. For example, you have Dankuto between the people of Nyomi and Kiang, between the people of Nyomi and Jara, between the people of Kombo and Kabu. Then another important effect of the Mandinka migration is acculturation. It led to acculturation, that is intermarriages between the Mandinka and some of their hosts in the Gambia, where they intermarry with people, the Jolas, the Papeli, the Bainunkas, and other people that were living in the Gambia. They also, some of the Ini group that they found here also adopted their culture and their tradition in the form of music, in the form of dance, and even in the form of dressing. So this was a very important effect of the Mandinka migration into the Gambia. Now, having discussed the effect of the Mandinka migration in the Gambia, we now move on to look at the social organization of the Mandinkas, the social organization of the Mandinkas. The Mandinka social system was based on a rigid caste system. The Mandinka social organization was based on a rigid caste system, which was highly stratified, meaning that in the Mandinka society, it was not everybody that was equal. The society was stratified. It was divided into social classes. Some people were more important than others. So the fundamental attachment to one's status was based on one's caste. And the caste one belonged was transmitted through descent from one generation to another. The caste that you belong to was determined by birth. If your father belonged to the noble, you become a noble. If your father belonged to the artisan group, you become an artisan. If your father belonged to the slave group, you also become a slave. That is what we are trying to explain here. So this descent or these classes were transmitted from one generation to another. You don't choose which class you belong to, but rather it was determined by birth. So you don't have control over which class you are going to belong to. So in the Mandinka society, 4 distinct classes could be identified. There were 4 distinct classes that could be identified under the Mandinka social organization or structures. And these classes are, you have the nobles, you have the freeborns, you have the artisans, and you have the slaves. The artisans, the freeborns. sorry, the nobles, the freeborn, the artisans, and the slaves. The nobles, this one were on top of the social tier. They were at the highest rung of the social ladder. And they belong to the royal family. They belong to the royal family and the war generals. This class consisted of the king, the queen, the prince, princesses, the war general, and their family members. They occupied the highest rung of the social ladder. They were the most important in the Mandinka society. They were at the top. Then followed by the freeborns. The freeborns are also known as the professionals or the commoners. They were second, they were next in importance. They were also very, very important in the Mandinka social structure. Okay, they were the foros. We call them in Mandinka. In Mandinka, they are called the foros. Okay, they were born freely with some special privileges and influence in society. They could be very, very rich. They could be very influential in society. Okay, and they have no attachment. This is why they call freeborn. They are not attached to any family. So long as they obey the laws of the land, they can go about their business. They are free to go about their businesses without any interruption. Then the third social class was the artisan group. The artisans were the Nyamolo group. In Mandinka, we call them the Nyamolo group. And this group consisted of the Numo. Numo means the smiths. Numo means the smiths. Then you have the Frabo, who were the leather workers. Some call them Frabo or Garanke. And you also have the Jalo, which were the griots. They were the artisan group. They were very, very important because most of the things that were needed by the society was provided by this particular class. They have skills. They can use their hand to make. They have what is called handicraft. They are very good at that. In fact, the level of civilization that we enjoy as a society to a very larger extent depended on the artisan group. Those who occupied the lowest rung of the social ladder, the people that were the least important in the Mandinka society, were the slaves. When we talk about the slaves, of course, we have different categories of slaves. We have the household slave or the domestic slaves. These were slaves that work in their master's household, you understand, like domestic servants. They do all the household chores for their masters. Then we also have the commercial slaves. On the commercial slave, we have the war booty slave, that is those slaves that were captured during war, that is the prisoners of war, if you like. We also have criminals, people who committed rape or killed people in society, the socially undesirable elements. We are referred to as the commercial slave, because those slaves could be sold. We also have the debtors. Okay, those slaves whose maybe their parents borrow money and they couldn't pay, they were used as debtors. So these were the different categories of slaves under the Mandinka political social system. Now, having talked about the social organization or the social structure of the Mandinkas, we now move on to look at the political organization of the Mandinkas, the political organization of the Mandinka. So the Mandingo had a centralized system of government. They have a centralized system of government, which was headed by the Mansa. The administration was based on 3 levels of authority, or in hierarchical order. That is the village level, we have the lineage level, the village level, and the state level. People at each level had distinct role to play. What we are trying to say here is that if you look at the political organization of the Mandinkas, at the top you have the states, okay, which was headed by the Mansa. But the Mansa also have people that assist him at the village level, also at the lineage level. When we talk about the lineage level, we are talking about the family level. Understand? A lineage is a form of an extended family. Okay, so at the family level you have a head. Okay, and that head of the family was the advisor of the head of the family was the ruler in that family. So the eldest male member of the family was the head of the family, and with the advice of other male family heads, he supervised matters pertaining to birth, death, marriage, circumcision, divorce, inheritance, interfamily affairs, and other relations. That is at the lineage level. That is the extended family level. You have the family head. The family head was assisted by other male members of the family to decide on issues pertaining to the family. For example, birth. When somebody is born within the family, they decide when the christening will take place. When somebody died, also they decide when the burial will take place. Okay, when it is time for the children to go to circumcision, they decide that. When there is divorce, inheritance, whatever, the family head will decide that with some elder within the family. Then the next level of authority or line of authority under the Mandinka political system was the village level. That is at the village level also. You know, the country has different villages. You have different villages combined together to form a community. So the village also, at the village level, sorry, we don't have the lineage level. Okay, at the village level, the head was, the alcalo was in charge, the alcalo. The alcalo was the head of the village. And in the Mandinka political system, the eldest male member of the founding family of the village becomes the head of the village. Of course, we have to emphasize here that the Mandinka has a patriarchal society. It was a male dominant society. It was the men that took up the leadership position. So at the village level, the alcalo was the head of the village. So with the help of other with the help of a council, the village, there's what is called a village council. When the village was big, it was divided into wards or kabilo, if you like. Each kabilo has a kabilo head, that is the ward head. So the kabilo heads, all the ward heads constituted what is known as the village council. So this village council is the one that helped the alcalo in the day-to-day running of the village. Now they decide when to where to harvest, when to start farming. They decide where people are going to settle within the village, and also they settle interfamily problem between the family, the lineages within the family. So that is at the village level. Then we move to the state level. At the state level, you have the Mansa was in charge. The Mansa was the highest authority. The Mansa, as head of state, represented the figure of leadership. He symbolized the unity of the Mandinka people. He was the head of state, you know, and he must come from the nobility group. Now, among other things, he was the commander-in-chief of the army. He also levied taxes and was the commander-in-chief of the army. So he was a very powerful figure in the Mandinka political dispensation. Now, having said that, now we move on to the features of the political organization of the Mandinkas, the feature of the political organization of the Mandinkas. One, we have the government was constituted by a hierarchy of kings. The government of the Mandinka was constituted by the hierarchy of kings. That is, the chiefs, the village heads, and the elders. You have the chief, the village head, and the elders. These are the people that assist the Mansa in the day-to-day administration of the state. Now you also have the king. The king was assisted by nobles. That is Foro in his administration. The Foros assist the king in his administration. Number three, the stability of the state depended on the nobles. It was the responsibility of the noble to provide security and stability for the state. If they cannot do that, then they would have failed. Number four, the nobles were given powers to distribute the state land by the Mansa. The nobles at the village level or at the family level were given the powers to distribute land to their people. The Mansa subject sought the approval of the noble in whatever they do. There was consultation between the master and his subject. Most of the time, the noble have to sought approval from the Mansa before they can do anything. So that consultation was very important. Number six, succession to the throne was by rotation. Succession to the throne was by rotation. People will rotate. You know, those who are entitled to the throne, when you come from Bojankunda family, the next time the leader will come from Sanyankunda family and stuff like this. It was rotational. Number seven, the Mansa was regarded as intermediary between the subject and their ancestors. In the traditional Mandinka society, the Mansa was believed to have extraordinary powers. Because of that, he was seen to be the mediator, that is the interlocutor between the soul. So the Mansa was supposed to be an extraordinary human being who can see beyond what the eye can see. So therefore, he can always mediate between the living and the dead. That is what we mean. Then another important feature of the Mandinka political organization was that the Mansa had powers to recruit soldiers for the defensive and the offensive. Of course, security is important. It was the Mansa's responsibility to provide security. So because of that, he have the right to recruit the soldiers. And these soldiers will perform both the offensive and the defensive. Offensive here means that they try to conquer as many states as possible to expand the Mandinka Empire. The defensive here have to do with trying to defend the territorial integrity and the territory of your state. So those were some of the features of the Mandinka's political organization. Now we move on to the economic organization of the Mandinka. Economically, the Mandinka organized themselves into age sets or kafus. These kafus consisted of people of the same sect and age grade. They are like cooperative societies of modern times. They embark on economic activities and self-help projects. That is the economy of the Mandinka. They organize themselves into age sets or kafus. Each age set or kafus were like modern cooperative societies. They raise funds, and most of the time the money that they have was kept and it was used as a revolving fund. If you have a problem, they give you the fund, you solve your problem. After some time, you pay the money, it is kept. So when another member needs it, they can access the fund. So that was how their society was organized. That was one of the things that they do. They have these kafus. Now these kafus were structured according to age and sect. These kafus were structured according to age and sect. For example, those people that belong to the same age bracket will belong to the same kafu. They form the same kafu. Then you have what was called the Dinding kafu. Dinding kafu was the young unmarried men between the ages of 10 to 20 years. Then you have the Kambane kafu, that is the young males between the ages of 20 to 40. You have Keba kafu, and the Keba kafu consisted of men over 40 years. You also have the Sunkutu kafu, that is young unmarried girls. And you have the Foro Musu kafu, that is married women under the age of 40. Then you have the Musu Keba kafu, that is women over 40 years. So this is the end of this lesson presentation. And I have one question for you before we close this session. That is, examine the importance of age set under the Mandinka political or under the Mandinka traditional society. The importance of age set under the Mandinka traditional society.